there we go.
All right. So, welcome everybody. Hopefully, if things go well, you're watching this on YouTube. Um, here, so Ready Set Data. We normally do a live stream on Twitch. It's a long format, a lot of conversations. We really enjoy it. We are trying something new. We're doing a little bit of an experiment. We are going to take whatever we covered in our live stream, and we're going to try to do a concise version for the YouTubes. So, without further ado, this is covering questions from our community. So, um, everybody doing good? Lee O'Grady, we're
We're
having a.
doing well. I'm excited.
All right. All right.
We're
So,
here.
first question. Yeah, we're here. We're here. It's getting late, but you know what? We like to experiment. So, the first questions were covering education, um, undergraduate degrees, master's degrees. Is collecting those kind of things good for an IT career if you're going into IT versus pure experience or anything like that? What's you guys' thoughts on degrees in general in IT in
So,
computer science?
so my overall take on that is that education is super important. It shows that you have the stick to itness to get something done. But when it comes to someone that I'm looking to hire or work with, I would take experience over a degree all day long.
So if you are an 18-year-old and you know you're going to go into IT and you love school, you love learning, you don't mind, taking English literature, psychology, all of those things just because you're really into that sort of thing, and you have the means to go to school, then I would encourage you to do it for a whole bunch of reasons, but specifically in terms of is it worth it for IT, I would say yes, because you'll learn a lot that will be foundational. So I would encourage that. If you're later in life and you are just trying to break into IT and you're trying to figure out and you don't have an undergrad and you want to know, should I go pay for one? The questions still apply. So I think if you still are a person who's okay with, going back and learning or doing intro to psychology and English lit and all of those kinds of things later in life, and you can afford to do it, then sure. If you are answering no to any of those questions, whether you're 18 or later in life, whatever that looks like, then for me, the answer is no, it's not worth it. You need to find a different path to get into IT.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree with all that. Basically, it depends on what you're going for. What do you want to do? If you're wanting to work for a FANG company, a Facebook or Amazon, Google, if you want a butted up position where you end up being over a team, um, degrees will help you. Degrees will help you get past that HR fence where they're checking and they have to narrow down applicants. But
Yeah.
one of the great things about development programming, IT in general, is you have the option of self-study, learning your craft. You just got to learn how to talk to the right people and get those certifications, and you can technically get in the door. And then after that, it's all experience. All right. So next question. This one is related as well. Do you think? Well, I think it's basically the same thing. Do you think experience trumps degrees? It's a little bit more a harsher version of the question. Is experience more important than a degree?
Kind of like Lee was saying in the beginning, if you're trying to get your foot into the door, that's a whole different question. Um, I think at that point, companies are going to look at what you have, and what you can have at that point of your life is usually a degree, um, because there's that gap that we talk about in the longer version. If you guys want to go check it out, um, that first step getting into an IT job, that is difficult. Like we've said. Um, but then once you're in an IT field, at that point, to me, I feel experience is weighted or should be weighted heavier than in a degree.
Yeah, if I have resumes in front of me and I have the option of a person who just graduated with a computer science degree or whatever, graduated with any kind of degree, and I have a person who has 1, 2, 3 years of experience working somewhere, doing the thing I'm about to interview them for, the experience to me is more important. Obviously, the person still has to prove in the interview that what they presented in their resume is factual, and a good interviewer will be able to determine those things. But assuming that that 1 to 3 years of experience is legitimate, I would lean toward that. And I think that having things like a GitHub or a blog that's current with good content is, it also counts as experience. It's something that you can bring along or point people to and say, if
Hmm.
you'd like to know more about me, here's a link to my GitHub. I have a blog at this link, and I think those are helpful as well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. The GitHub and the blogs and websites definitely help show your experience.
Mhm.
It helps you post that out for people. And yeah, I think it's kind of the same as the answer I gave before. Degrees have their purposes. They might even help you get that first job. But if we're not hiring, I mean, the hiring manager knows whether they're hiring a junior or
Mhm.
apprentice. They know if they're hiring from middle to senior level. And then after, if you're looking for somebody with a certain amount of experience, suddenly the degree doesn't matter anymore, right? I need someone who can handle this on their own. Well, someone with 4 years experience is more likely.
Mhm.
Also, if you're hiring for something that, there's not a lot of people use that technology yet, 6 years of experience doing various technologies mean they have the knowledge and the ability to learn and the
Right.
wherewithal to learn the new language. So
Mhm.
sometimes that matters. So yeah, it sounds like we're all kind of leaning towards experience as
Oh yeah.
opposed to degrees ourselves.
I
There's our
think so.
bias. All right, next question. Do you feel like being in the Midwest and specifically St. Louis that you have less tech opportunities?
So I do not think that we have less tech opportunities. I think we have a lot of large companies around here, um, and like I said in the longer version, is that we have every company that is out there has an IT department, has someone. Either it's a single person or it's a 3-story building. There's an IT department behind every company. So I don't think we're limited because we're in the Midwest. Um, I think that when I went and looked for jobs recently, I had zero problems finding an IT job, a very specific rolled IT job. It wasn't even like I'm just looking for IT. I was looking to be a developer doing the exact job that I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
and I found multiples. So you know,
I agree. I've not lived in other locations, so I haven't lived in Los Angeles, New York, or whatever. I can't compare. I haven't searched because in those areas because I don't live there. I actually have searched one place on the East Coast, which I hope to move to at some point. So I guess from that perspective, I could compare, and I would say that St. Louis has just as many opportunities, and if not more, than some other locations, even
Mhm.
along the coast. So the specific place that I was looking, the city, which I'm not going to name in here, actually has relatively less opportunities for my area than St. Louis. There's
Mhm.
never a shortage of jobs in St. Louis for IT. They're always out there.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think there may be some people who feel a bias because they hear about Facebook and Amazon and Google. Yeah, those FANG companies or whatever they want to call it. But
I mean, we do have Amazon here. Like it. I think a lot of people think of where headquarters are, and they think
yeah,
that that's where the locations are. But like we have Amazon warehouses, we have shipping centers and all that stuff, um, that are always looking for people to work there as well. So,
absolutely. And then I have one more comment on that, but I'm actually going to wait because it fits in perfectly with the next question. Um, so Has the pandemic changed that at all? What effect has that have on opportunities?
So 100% I agree that it's it's only opened more opportunities for IT. Um, if you want to watch the longer version, I'll go more into detail about how you know I feel like developers and IT in general are starting to know their worth. But overall, I think it had a positive impact in IT. Don't take that out of context. COVID's not a positive impact, but um,
COVID itself is not a positive impact.
no.
Yeah, but
But as far as the fact that there's many more developers now turning down jobs that aren't meeting their requirements that they hold for themselves, and it's giving us more of a just a better feeling being able to own what you do and know your worth. So I think it's been more opportunities.
Yeah, I think that remote work has been pushed to the forefront, and it's become a commodity. And people really, it's a valued commodity where um, that's at the top of the list of things that people ask for, or they ask a recruiter about. Is this remote? Or they look at in the job listing, they're looking for remote in the listing.
Mm.
Otherwise, they're not even looking at it.
Yep.
That's true in a lot of
100%.
cases, not all, but
Right.
in some cases. So I definitely think the pandemic has changed or influenced job openings and the kinds of job openings that are available for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely think this ties into the last question. I mean, you know, the opportunities we have in St. Louis um, have increased because remote work is so common now. I can there's companies that I couldn't have worked for 5 years ago remotely, and now I can. So
Right.
yeah, all right. And then next question is, do you think that in tech specifically, you can change companies more frequently, aka job hopping, without affecting your work record versus say an accountant or any other trade that's not an IT?
Yeah. So I think that it's it's more expected in the IT world to hop around, so it's not looked bad upon, especially if the hiring manager is an IT professional. That helps a lot because they can see your track record. They can see you were at this place for 2 years, you were at this place for 4 years. You know, this place was 6 years. You might have 4 months at one place, but being in our industry, we know well he might have also took another job, and then his first option opened back up. It's like, okay, well, I'm going over there.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think it's required unless you're in a situation when it is required, as far as if your company's not treating you properly, if you're not getting advancements that you feel are deserved, um, or if you're trying to get a raise and they just keep turning you down and you feel you're worth that, well then yeah, you need to be jumping and moving. But once you find a company, I don't feel it's a necessity to have to job hop.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there. I do think that you can change companies more frequently as an IT person versus some other careers. I think part of that is due to the rapid change in IT. Things today and the beginning of 2022, there's new stuff as compared to 1 year ago even. So maybe your company isn't maybe the company you were at a year ago, as 2021 moved forward and you saw new things come out, the company you're at isn't embracing those things and you're really interested in them. Well, then yeah, you got to move. And people in the IT industry would completely understand that. So uh, uh, I think as long as you have good and new opportunities coming across your desk and you're happy where you're at, then stay there.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think IT has the privilege of being able to move around a little bit more. I would hiring managers may still have some sort of bias, but I think everyone recognizes how this industry works, and You were only there for 1 year. Well, we realize that you can move on whenever you want and probably get a raise. I'd even
Yeah.
turn it around and say, um, actually, I'm sorry, never mind. I'm not gonna turn around because that's the next question. I think this is actually the final question. Do
Yep.
you think you actually do have to change more often in tech to keep growing versus other industries?
So I kind of touched on that a little bit on my last answer, but I feel like you need to change when you outgrow your current workload. When you're if you want more than what you're currently doing, one, you need to be doing that yourself. You need to be progressing yourself, not just waiting for your job to progress you, um, or else you're going to get stagnant. Because a company likes someone that sits there and does their job. You need to progress yourself. Once you do that, then yeah, that's. I mean, I think that's kind of what it goes toward.
Yeah, I agree. I touched on it a little bit. If you have new stuff coming across your desk that you're interested in,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you can stay where you're at. If if you don't have those things, if you see technology out in the wild that you know you're never going to get to touch where you're at, or it might be so much later that there'll be something else new, then you probably have to change jobs, change companies in order
Mm-hmm.
to keep growing.
Yeah, I agree. I think whether or not you actually need to change totally depends on your situation. You're a master of your own future. So if you, like you guys already said, if you're not getting challenged enough, you want to grow, you can go ahead and move when you want. If you are being challenged, if your company is allowing you the growth potential that you like, no need to move. So it completely depends on you and your your goals. So,
Yep, I
all
agree.
right, all right. So, I appreciate this. We would love to hear feedback for all of you who are watching this. Hit us up on the Discord. We'll have that in the notes below the YouTube video, um, and then introductions, which I should have done in the beginning, but I guess we'll do it now as we're signing off here.
We have
I'm
names. You can see them. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's okay. That's perfect. That works. Okay, we'll just go with that then.
Yeah.
Um, any closing notes, guys, or are we good to go here?
Nope. Just make sure you drop by our Discord, drop by our Twitters. We'll have links up every time we go live Thursdays at 7 CST.
And if you enjoyed the content on the YouTube video, just give it a like and ask us some questions in there, and we'll drop in and answer. So very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to join us in the live stream too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.